Welcome to Medieval Radio. Today's topic will be on the lives of all the people in the beautiful medieval era. Who will be our first guest speaker, Emma?
The first speaker will be Dr. McCoff. He is a Scottish doctor that has worked with most of the Black Plague victims. Dr. McCoff, come on in.
Hello there, laddies. Dr. McCoff is here with the cure, one cough at a time.
Well, Dr. McCoff, good to have you on the show, and welcome. I've heard you're a pretty interesting amputator.
Oh, no. I'm a big bleeder.
I don't get it.
Apparently you don't understand my joke. I use bleeding techniques on most of my patients.
Sounds like they're more like victims rather than patients.
No, not victims. Bleeding is the technique of draining the bad blood out of a patient.
Then what? You put good blood in?
I don't think that's possible, lad. Bleeding removes the bad blood from a person. So in essence, we are trying to take the plague out of their body. Unfortunately, it doesn't work very well. The majority of my patients die.
What? Some of them survive?
The ones that didn't die of the plague died of pneumonia a few days before. The plague took them. So we took them as successes because they didn't technically die of the plague.
How could you consider that as a success?
You are not a man of science. Don't give me your opinions. Aye, they may have died, but they died for a good cause.
So, about how many people died from this horrible plague?
Roughly a third of Europe's population died from the plague, each with black boils and pus seeping from their bodies, screaming in agony as the plague slowly drained their lives away.
Good Lord.
Are doctors respected in these medieval times?
Doctors such as I, who received an education, were extremely respected in my era. However, there were surgeons who were frowned upon by most men of my standard. Surgeons are uneducated, and their work is unnecessary and menial.
Oh, really?
Aye. There were also empirics. They, like surgeons, are also not well respected. They base their work on past experiences and even allow women to practice, though their cures are mainly restricted to home remedies, prayers and incantations.
Why is it so bad that they accept women?
Aha! Interesting sense of humour. Women cannot complete the medical work the same as men. They should stay at home where they belong.
Thank you for your time, Dr. McCoff. You really shed some light on this dark and old practice.
You're very welcome, kind lad. Remember, if you ever need any medication, turn to bleeding. How did that sound for my new medical practice slogan?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
By the way, if you need any bleeding done...
No. Thank you, but you best move on.
Alright, don't say I didn't warn you. You never know when the plague's gonna come around again.
After that interesting interview, we're moving on to our next topic. Let me introduce you to Bob the Gothic Builder.
Hi all, I'm Bob the Gothic Builder, specializing in Gothic architecture. I built a quarter of the Cologne Cathedral back in the late 10th century.
Justin decided to take up Dr. McCoff's offer of a bleeding. So I'm Matt, I'm going to be the replacement host. So yes, Bob the Gothic Builder, how goes it?
I believe that it's going.
Give me some background of what you do on a day-to-day basis.
Well, I plan for different kings and queens, and I plan big public structures for religious groups. My expertise is in the Gothic structures.
So what is the Cologne?
It's one of the biggest and tallest cathedrals in all of Europe that I started to plan on.
Did you ever see it completed?
Nope, we didn't receive enough funds till after I died.
That's unfortunate. So how are architects important to society?
We do everything, from planning city structures to building common residencies for the peasants. I usually work on plans for higher class citizens because I charge a hefty price for my work since it's so time consuming. I was brought up in a guild society dedicated to architecture.
What are common building materials?
The favorable material was stone, but wood was much cheaper. Also, some metals were used in foundations of the buildings. So you know, 5% of the buildings still around in your time from the medieval era, but have been built upon.
What architecture types are there?
There's your Gothic architecture that most everyone knows about. Then there's Romanesque architecture. Romanesque came first of the architecture. It's somewhat is the modern Roman architecture.
What's some of the famous buildings from the medieval ages?
Some of the buildings I helped go over were the Cologne Cathedral, Hagia Sophia, Notre Dame, and by the way, I started my own establishment. Only the best come to Bob the Gothic Builder.
Nice slogan.
Sounds way too familiar. Bob the Gothic Builder, thanks for coming on today and have a good one. Now a quick word from our sponsors.
Have you ever tried building a house or a huge building by yourself or with slave workers? Is it somewhat impossible to do it without your trusty architecture? In designing all your architecture needs, Bob the Gothic Builder is at your side. He plans all kinds of architecture from Gothic and Romanesque architecture. He also knows his materials and what's best for your home in the middle of the streets. Bob the Gothic Builder is there for all the designing aspects of building.
Welcome back to Medieval Radio, the radio station that brings your medieval news to you. Coming up, the arts. The medieval life revolved around entertainment and its uses. The arts were the extracurricular activities that many people engaged in, such as paintings, plays, music, sculpting, sporting events, and dance. We have two guests on today. Sir Ectum from...
Emma, it's Liechtenstein.
Okay. Then we have Kimbo, the big bean who plays the lute.
Sorry guys, that guy was on from earlier. Tried to get me to drain my blood because I started coughing. Dr. McCough, he's got his own cough full of problems.
Ha, you deserved it.
He was kind of creepy with all his blood stuff. Hey, come back here. We ain't finished here yet.
Get out, Dr. McCough, your time's up. Just leave.
And now that's over. Can we get on with the show?
Yeah, alright. Anyway, on to our next guest. Please join us in welcoming Sir Ectum, all the way from